67, Paley versus Moore. All parties, please come forward.
Cameron Paley is suing her former friend, Ashlyn Moore, for bail money she loaned to Ashlyn.
Ms. Paley, it is your claim that the defendant owes you $600, which was half the amount of bail that you paid for her when she was arrested for speeding. And during the course of this traffic stop, drugs were found in the car on her possession. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And this happened when?
This happened on August 1st around 9:45 a.m.
And you were going where?
We were headed to see my friend Kendra in Gulf Shores.
Who was driving?
Ashlyn.
Whose car?
A rental truck.
And you were stopped on August 1st for speeding.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you issued a citation for speeding.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you pay the citation?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you were stopped for speeding, did the police conduct a search?
Yes, after he had told me that he smelled some marijuana on us, and he waited about 15 minutes till he could get his dog.
Did he order you out of the car?
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody?
I was pulled out about 10 to 15 minutes before they were.
You were pulled out first?
Yes.
And searched first?
Mm-hmm.
Cameron Paley claims her former friend, Ashlyn Moore, is responsible for bail money she loaned to Ashlyn.
Now, was the marijuana found on your possession? That's is not an answer. You've been very crisp so far. So was the marijuana found on your person?
No, ma'am.
Where was it?
It was in the truck.
Where in the truck?
I believe it was in my bag and also in the center console.
Just a second. What bag?
My purse.
It's not your claim that anybody, but you put it in your purse. No, so it was yours. Now, were you searched?
Yes.
Was anything found on you?
No, ma'am.
Was anything found in your purse?
No, Your Honor.
Was your witness searched?
Yes.
Was anything found on her person? Was anything found in her purse?
No, ma'am.
So the only marijuana that was found in Miss Moore's purse and in the console of the car?
Yes.
Is that the middle console or the
ma'am.
side? The middle console. Mm-hmm. So you were taken into custody because in the state that you were driving through, marijuana is not legal.
Yes, Your Honor.
A plaintiff says that your bail was $1,200 and that she went to the bank and took out the money and bailed you out.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you paid her back $600 of the $1,200. So tell me why you don't owe her the rest.
So when we were pulled over initially, when we first saw the flashing lights, Cameron was very hysterical in the front seat. She started spraying perfume, like trying to roll the windows down, turn the air on, airing everything out as
Just a second. The only reason you do that is because you've been smoking marijuana, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And was everybody smoking marijuana?
Yes.
Including you?
Yes.
But you were driving.
Yes.
Well, that's actually no different from having a bottle of Tito's and drinking while you're driving. Is that your mother?
Yes, Your Honor.
Of course it's your mother. It's one face. What did your mother say to you when you told her this story?
She was very disappointed on us, obviously.
Did she tell you how dangerous she thought it was for you to be smoking grass while you were driving a car?
Yes, she did.
And that it's your fault?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, your car, your speed, your marijuana. Your
Yes, Your
marijuana.
Honor.
Now, you have 30 seconds to tell me why you don't owe her the other $600.
We had a verbal agreement that if I took the blame for everything, that she would pay half of my bail.
Well, you were to blame for everything.
If I took blame for everything that was in the car.
It doesn't matter whether you took blame for anything that was in the car or not. If they found one joint in your pocketbook, they would have arrested you. And you were smoking and driving at the same time. So what was there to take blame for? I mean, the fact that these two idiots were smoking too, it seems ridiculous. But you could have killed them and other people too. That was foolish. She says, Miss Paley, that you had an agreement with her, which if you did, I'm prepared to enforce, that you would pay for half the bail.
That is not true, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, then why don't you tell me how it came about that you paid the bail?
Okay, so once she got arrested, I was freaking out. We went to Walmart.
How did you get to Walmart?
Taryn drove the rental truck.
So she was smoking with everybody else.
We had not smoked that day yet, I do not believe.
You mean the police officer smelled it on your clothes? Mm-hmm. Well, that's possible. Unlikely, but possible. Okay, so she drove a little bit high to Walmart. And?
I was on the phone with her sister and her sister's boyfriend. I believe her mom was there, and they were basically pressuring me.
No. Did you speak to her mother?
I did not.
Okay, so you can't tell me what anybody else said to you on the phone. Okay. Now, I want you to tell me what arrangement you had with her, or she can tell me if you don't think that you had any arrangement with her to pay half the bail.
We did not have any arrangement to pay half the bail.
Okay, now let's have it, Miss Moore. Tell me when it happened, who was on the phone, was it in person or not? Let me hear.
It was in person. As we were getting pulled over, we knew that we were going to get searched. Whenever he walked up to the car to take my license and registration, he stepped back and was waiting about 10 minutes until he got his backup driver and the drug dog to search the car. As we were saying that, I stated, you know, he's going to find something. Obviously, we have stuff in this truck. He's going to find it. And we all agreed, yes.
No. That's conclusion.
Okay.
I said to her, while you were all panicked, because the cop pulling you over for speeding, and you know you're going to get searched, and you're the driver of the car. And if you hadn't been smoking that day, well, which I don't believe, then you wouldn't really worry about the smell of marijuana in the car. So I want to know, as this event is unfolding, you've got lights pulling over, then you're having some. By the way, I'm going to take the blame for everything, but you have to promise. Is that what you want me to believe happened? Okay. You have any proof of that to give to me?
No, ma'am. It was a verbal agreement.
Okay. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $600. Your problem. Do you understand? Maybe your mother believes that nonsense, but I don't believe that nonsense, because at the time a cop pulls you over in a car and you know you're speeding and you know you have drugs in the car and you know you're in trouble. What you don't say to the other people in the car is, listen, if I get arrested for all this, we're going to share the bail. That doesn't even go through your mind. So, nice story, nice trick. It never happened. Goodbye. We're done.
This court is adjourned.
I think that it's very upsetting that she didn't believe my story. As it was a true story, I wouldn't have lied.
She lied about the agreement. We did not make any agreement. She did owe me all my money.
It was all of ours.
Her family was trying to pressure me into bailing her out and told me I'd be a bad friend if I did not.
First of all, don't take the blame for everybody's stuff ever, and pick good friends.
Pick better friends.
A big problem with all those after interviews. For starters, as a mother, to say your only two pieces of advice for your daughter, who just went through this entire legal proceeding, sat in jail for 12 hours, and your only two pieces of advice to her were never take the blame for everybody and pick better friends. And people are really ignorant, but everybody knows that you should never drive when you're high. That is pretty much a blanket, everybody knows that rule.
No excuse for that.
No excuse at all. And I think her parents should probably adjust her priorities and her advice to her daughter to make sure it doesn't happen again.
How about taking the car?
Yeah, or not renting the car for her.
Right. Or that's